Hello, beautiful soul. Natalie Southgate here, creator of Chakra Dance. Today, I felt called to come and do a little talk about suffering, really, because I'm working a lot with the heart chakra personally at the moment, and in my groups with my clients, and it's a lot of what's coming up is something that I think is quite a common thing. So whenever I hear a lot of the same thing, I think, haha, let's talk about this. Let's get it out there. Let's be honest. And I think that we're kind of encouraged when we're sad or something goes wrong in our lives, or we lose someone, or there's pain or suffering. In the way that we grow up, there's this tendency for people to want us to get over it really quickly. Have your day of sadness, but then, come on, pick yourself up and, move on. And I think, a lot of it's because many of us can be uncomfortable around someone who's in pain and we don't know how to deal with it. So it's not normally coming from any bad place. It's just that there's kind of a collective discomfort around it. And I think one of the big things with the heart chakra, and this is really what I want to talk about, is the heart chakra, that, it is the center where we will feel grief. And if we push that grief, if we don't experience it, don't allow the space for it at the time, all we do is we push it back in, okay? And we try and get on with it. But it's not like the sadness, the pain got processed and worked through. It literally gets sort of stuck in our hearts, and it becomes a bit of a boulder. It can become a bit of a boulder, and we start to carry it around and wonder why it impacts our lives in these ways, why we can't quite find the true lightness, why we can't open to love again, all of these different things, why we could even manifest in a physical issue, why we start to get, physical issues around these parts of our body. So back to what I was saying about allowing yourself. Now, I don't mean to wallow in pain forever. That's not what I'm saying either. But just to allow yourself, when something does happen in your life, it's almost like, I think it can be known as the dark night of the soul. Kind of, there's a time where things have happened, so we need to withdraw from the outer world and come into the inner world, okay? And this is when quite often, and I know it can seem like there's nothing good that can come from suffering, but quite often it's when we go and do this inner work, that's when we discover the beauty that can come. There's normally a gift of some kind. There's normally some gold that comes out of painful experiences. We learn more about ourselves. We grow as a human. We have a bigger capacity to find compassion for others. There's always a reason that these things, and I know that's, it can sound very new agey and very trite. There's always a reason everything happens. But, as looking from that soul level, trying to make sense of what goes on in our lives, I think if we can look at it like, well, at the very least, we can grow from it. The very least, we can become better humans from it. I can live with that. Can you live with that? I can live with that. Whereas if we just have these painful things happen and we just bury them because we've got to get over it too quickly, we've got to get on with our lives, jump into the next relationship, soar on into becoming a workaholic so you don't have to look at it, whatever it is, however it manifests out in your life, it kind of doesn't matter. If it's just been buried, there is no growth. There is no gold. There is no wisdom that comes from that. All that comes from that is more suffering, slowly, continuously, this suffering. And, that's when life can start to feel really tough and really hard all the time, instead of just these pockets of, we're not meant to stay in grief. We're not meant to live in grief. We're not meant to live in this deep sadness. They're phases. They're teachers. So we can surrender into them. Surrender is the word. Surrender into them. Withdraw and surrender and learn the gift. Okay, that might take a week. It might take a month. You don't want to be in there for years. Okay, if you're in there for years, you want to go and get help, get someone to help you actually move through this. which leads me straight on to chakra dance, which is not where I was going to go with this. But this is what we do when we work with the heart chakra in chakra dance, is really go in and start to reveal to ourselves what it is that is unexpressed, what sadnesses we're holding on to, so that we can process them and release them and grow and lead a happier, healthier, more fulfilling life. So I just wanted to share that little nugget of gold with you today. It's been very up for so many of my clients and me, and I thought I'd share it with you in case it can help you today. And I send you many blessings.